broadcast here at the Media Center. We have a really great game for y'all tonight. The Lynbrook Vikings against the Gunn Titans are playing here in Palo Alto on this rather chilly November night. I am accompanied here by
Mookie. My name's Mookie, and I'm actually pretty young to be an announcer. And it shouldn't be a good game tonight.
You know, I think it'll be a really good game, actually, because both of these teams are rather even, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, you could say, but, Lynbrook's 6-3 and Gunn's 1-8, so.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, the amount of touchdowns that they've scored during their entire season, the differential is only one touchdown. Lynbrook has 16, Gunn has 15.
Yeah,
So, if you look at that offensive statistic, a close game, perhaps a fun one to watch, might be in store for us here tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, some high school games are, one-sided, but this one should be a good one to watch.
Indeed. So, what are your predictions? How do you think the score will turn out?
I think, in the end, I think that Lynbrook is going to come away with this one. Not by much, though. I think my final score prediction is 28-21.
That's a fair prediction. Some interesting facts here. Both of these teams were blown out last week and didn't score a single touchdown. So, and they were up against some tough opponents. The Vikings lost to Los Altos 30-0 last week.
And the Titans lost to Aptos 34-0.
Oh yeah. Yes, they did. And Gunn has been doing a lot of losing this season.
Their only win was against Prospect. Close in the division, in the El Camino division, behind Los Altos, Homestead, and Monte Vista.
Yeah, that is a close division. I think it's safe to say at this point that Gunn's season is kind of in the toilet.
Right.
But we got to see Gunn win a couple weeks ago when we did our broadcast of their game, and I was quite impressed by some of their offensive production, as well as their defense as well. They have the potential to do well. They have players. Now, what needs to develop is there needs to be synchronizing. There needs to be a synchronizing ability.
I think they just
to bring them together.
Yeah, they just have to have that chemistry.
The chemistry, right?
Yeah, chemistry is really important for any team. I don't care who you are. You could be,
Well, we were talking about earlier in the when we were discussing, and a lot of high school teams, they run the ball a lot more than they throw the ball. One thing that really separates a really good high school team is a quarterback-wide receiver communicative relationship, where the quarterback can throw the ball and know that his wide receiver will do something with this play that's creating itself, so that he doesn't feel like he has to run the ball every play.
Yeah, and that's sort of like you have to have you have to build that trust with the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Yeah, you need to build that trust, and you need to have also good coaches. You need to have good coaches that are calling good plays. The Gunn coach, Hirano, is new this year, so this is his first season. Obviously, it has not been going too well, but
you can't judge him.
You can't judge. Well, you can judge him for that, but I would say that it takes a couple of seasons to see what a coach is really bringing to a football team. In fact, any sports team in general.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, some coaches are really good, like John Madden, but it's not like it's not like on the first day of coaching he was like the best coach in the world or anything like that.
Okay, so we have the coin toss that is about to begin here. We have 4 minutes until kickoff. What do you see here looking out at these two teams? What's your opinion?
Well, I think Lynbrook really, they look determined. Looking over at their huddle there on the left side, uh, they have, they're having a really intense conversation. I think for Lynbrook, this is more of a must-win game. For us Gunn, it's more of maybe knocking Lynbrook out of their, maybe playoff hopes.
Yes, indeed. Hey, so the atmosphere here is growing a little bit. That's good. Starting to get a little louder. So it seems to me it's interesting. One of the Vikings players seems to be injured. He's come out for the coin toss. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very not.
And he's all by himself too.
Yeah, it's not something that you see often.
No, generally you keep the injured players on the bench, but apparently not tonight. They decided to send him out.
Yeah, they decided to, just so that the guy could get involved maybe, or.
Injuries really affect a team. I mean, we see in the NFL how different a team becomes after injuries.
Yeah.
And then we see that also in high school ball with Keller Chris recently getting injured.
Yeah,
And how that affected the Palo Alto team, the other Palo Alto team. In this city, we have, of course, two teams. The Vikings. Also, yeah, the Vikings. Not this Viking team, the other Vikings.
It's sort of ironic because the Lynbrook's also the Vikings, and, Paoli's also the Vikings as well. So it'll be an interesting game to watch.
Well, I was thinking, what happens when both of these teams play each other? Are they it's the Vikings against the Vikings? You'd think they'd play together.
Yeah, that would be sort of a ironic game to watch.
Yeah, it would actually. It would indeed. I think it would be fun for Palo Alto because they haven't been having as much fun as they usually do this year. That's for sure. Palo Alto has not been as exceptional as they have been in previous years, especially that one year where they won state champ.
Right.
No, so in general, I mean, we can say surely that Palo Alto has struggled.
May I have your attention, please?
Not just Palo Alto, but also this team here,
the national anthem.
Yeah.
the Gunn team.
I mean, both has.
We have seen better years, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a nice shot there of the coaches or the referees in the stadium. I have to say, I'm really impressed by this stadium and also this school. They just recently constructed a gymnasium, or at least added on to it. That's kind of cool.
And here is, I believe, the national anthem. Yes. And I believe.
Are we going to have an anthem or not? Here we go.
Oh, there we go. it's actually a little bit more
Good evening,
more
ladies and
people
gentlemen, boys and
seated.
girls. Welcome to the Howell Dana Track and Field for tonight's game between the visiting Lynbrook Vikings and your Gunn.
Hey, broadcasting what should be a very interesting matchup between Lynbrook and Gunn. Two high school teams that, to some degree, have teams that are equal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you're looking at it touchdown-wise, I mean, not if you're looking at it record-wise, but you know,
Well, I would say that Lynbrook has a very good running game, and Gunn has a passing game that is superior to Lynbrook stat-wise. So hopefully we'll see some interesting gameplay because of that. So as we get set for the kickoff, Gunn will be punting it away after losing the coin toss.
Would Austin please come to the booth again? Austin, would you please come to the booth?
so we are almost ready for kickoff.
Yes, we are. And looks like Guy Kasnick will punt it away to begin the last game of the season for the Gunn Titans, and also the last game of the season for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think it should be a game that should be very intense.
You know, well, one thing that happens when you have a team that's losing is, you know, this is their last game, and a lot of these players, they're coming out here and they want to prove themselves because they know that they know it doesn't matter. They know that they don't necessarily have a chance to qualify. So now, all they have left to do is prove that they can come back and play better next year. And if they can win their last game, perhaps that'll set a better situation next year. All right, here we go. So here we have a kick, squib kick, recovered or picked up by number 18, who was tackled at the 30.
So a nice return there. So an interesting call to go for a squib kick.
Evidently, they don't want the Vikings to run with the ball. And turned out to work pretty well because they didn't. So ball on the 31 for the Vikings from Lynbrook.
Not from Palo Alto.
Yes, very different teams.
So Lynbrook on the season is 6-3. Let's see what their offense does on the first play.
Tony Roberts snaps, hands it off to number 9, who has room to run, but is brought down at what looks like the 38.
Wow,
We'll see where they spot it.
That actually looked like it should have been a lot more than just 8 yards.
Well, when you have a defense that doesn't give up, it's helpful.
Yes,
because
definitely.
what really separates a good team from a great team is a team that doesn't stop. Even when the running back has a little bit of progress, to develop that effort to take him down anyways and stop a big play is huge.
So 2 yards about to go before the first down.
Lynbrook hands off to the same guy
And he's been
who gets the first down.
He's been stellar so far.
Jonathan Chang.
Another run by number 9, Jonathan Chang. He's wrapped up by the legs by number 52.
It looks like they're going to place it at the 45.
First one on the 45-yard line.
And that will give Lynbrook the first down. So the first down acquired after only 2 plays.
Lynbrook's come out. They've just been aggressive.
Only 1 wide receiver out there. A little bit of commotion on the line and a flag on the play.
Looks like
It's going to be a false start on Gunn, which will move the Vikings 5 yards up.
Or
on the
Neutral zone
defense.
infraction
5-yard penalty remains first down.
will be against the Gunn Titans. So Lynbrook will get 1st and 5.
And that's going to put them at midfield here. Quick snap and handoff to number 10, who gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
So it is now 2nd down, and I believe
They're rushing out to the line
The
here.
run is handed off to the
No
fullback,
huddle
number
offense.
10, Jason Lark.
2nd
He ties his way
and 2
forward,
about.
and makes the tackle by number 66, Ben Lee. No gain on the play. 2nd down.
Tony Roberts handing it off again to number 9. Folks, he has not thrown the ball yet. And that play gets them about 2 yards.
Jonathan Chang has been very incorporated in this offense so far.
Well, it seems to be everything so far for this offense. I've noticed they have only put 1 wide receiver out there. So they stick together, this offense.
Looks like another run play coming up.
Only Louis Luan is out there. And a QB sneak.
And he will make it, I believe.
So Tony Roberts
No, I don't think he did, actually.
trying to run to the right after the QB sneak.
And it will be 4th and 1.
And it will be 4th and 1. So he comes short.
That's a huge stop for this defense.
Now, yeah, looks like they're going to go for it.
And they're going for it, and oh wow, a quick
They get it easily.
snap, and that's easy. Well, this Lynbrook team has come out in the last game of the season, and they just proved themselves.
Well, what do you think? Well, they haven't proved themselves yet, but this is looking like a good drive. What do you think of this Gunn defense? Kind of seems to me like they're not getting up to the line quick enough, because that play could have been avoidable.
Yeah, this is definitely a fast-paced offense. Lynbrook is, and they've come out very aggressive, going for it on 4th down.
All right, Roberts hands it off to Chang. Chang is brought down behind the line for a loss of at least 1 yard. So that was the first really productive play for the Titans, bringing the ball backwards.
Yeah, so their defense has been very productive today. So 2nd and 11. And that's going to be a run play. He sort of tricked me there. I thought he was going to maybe hand it off.
I
to
thought
the
he was going to
fullback.
give it to Chang, but looks like he didn't. He decided not to.
Yeah.
But they get the ball to the 43.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Sorry, they get it to the 37. 37.
Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd down.
3rd and 5 coming up. And again, they just go quickly.
It looks like another run play is developing itself here.
And a little trick play. Number 22 gets it.
He breaks free.
And that's going to be a 1st down.
So Howard Huang with the tricky run. Well, here we go. This is a change. We have 2 players in the outfield. Let's see if they decide to throw it. The Vikings preparing for their next play.
And finally a pass, and this is a
And
good
it's
one.
deep to number 11, and it is intercepted.
Interception by number 19.
With the interception.
Get loud. Interception made by number 19.
Well, now we see why they're hesitant to throw the ball.
Well, yeah, that's definitely why they're hesitant to throw the ball. The QB's first throw is an interception. Definitely not the start.
We were talking about both of these teams being sort of even. Did you know that both of these teams have exactly 4 interceptions? Actually, it's changed, but before this game, had exactly 4 interceptions in the entire season. So now that's 5.
So, even though Lynbrook did throw the interception, Gunn does not get very good field position.
No, they do not. Although it's nice to have the ball for the first time. It's a good feeling. Quick handoff.
It's
And
going to get maybe
he actually got a couple. He got a few there. At least
3
brought
yards.
brought him out to the 8.
That should be 2nd and I think 7.
So in fact, that play was decided dead at the 6-yard line. Second play of the Gunn offense here tonight.
And
Quick
on 2nd
handoff.
and 8, he's going to get a 1st down.
So Jared Bebo getting more yardage.
Quick feet to burst forward through a huge hole. He's finally tackled by number 37, Julian Arch. 1st down, Titans.
And so now we have 1st down. Handoff to number 15.
Number 15.
Number 13.
Sean
Who trips and falls
Sean Lidster.
for about 6 yards.
Handoff is given to number 13, Sean Lidster, who burst to the outside. But is finally tripped up by number 9, Jonathan Chang. Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down.
So 2nd and 2.
Second down as Blake Stafford hands it off once again.
And that's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
Titans. And the handoff is given to number 13, Sean Lister, who, like a bull, bursts forward and smashes through multiple defensive players and is finally taken down by number 5, Vic Wagner.
So Gunn has come out, and they started basically at the goal line, and now they're at the 30. So we see progress, at least, to say the least.
Both offenses have been sort of moving the ball, you know.
So yet another handoff.
That's going to be about
The draw play.
a 1 or 2 yard
And
gain.
the handoff is given to number 31, Jared Bebo, who runs to the right side, but is met after only about a 1 yard gain by number 54, Carlo Silva, who wraps it up. 2nd down and 8.
That's going to be a 2 yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8.
Interestingly enough, we have only seen one passing play this entire game so far, which resulted in an interception.
Yes, both of these teams are committed to the run, and
Yes, they are.
there's another run, and this is going to be a loss.
Yes, it is. That looked painful from here, at least.
Should be 3rd and 9
handoff
now.
is given to Sean Lister, number 13, who runs to the right side.
One thing you really have to do when you're a running back is you need to keep your balance.
Tomas,
When you're running with the ball, especially on a cold night, if you can't, not only do you have to hold on to the ball, but you also have to hold on to your legs. That play, it kind of looked like he fell on his own.
Yeah. It's 3rd and 9, and they just run it again, and it's not going to be enough for a 1st down.
Well, that play looked over in the backfield. There was some miscommunication before in between the running back and the quarterback in that play. And honestly, from what we could see here, the ball was handed off way too slowly.
Yeah.
And that put Sean Lutster in a position where he really just could only use his muscle to gain yardage. There were no holes or gaps available for him.
Only a 2 yard gain, so now it's 4th and 7.
And a timeout is called.
Timeout, Gunn.
Timeout, Gunn.
And looks like Gunn decided to call it.
Maybe there was some miscommunication.
Yeah. Well, that stops the clock at 2 minutes and 27 seconds here. 0-0. Gunn against Lynbrook. Still no score. And actually, we haven't seen a single drive that has resulted in the offense getting even close to the red zone so far here tonight. The Vikings were able to get to the 40-yard line and then threw an interception. And Gunn is still stuck in a deep, well, rather deep in its own territory still.
And so here is the punt. And
Oh
it's a
my
low
gosh.
one. And it's
It is
going to be
fumbled.
a botch punt. And now he's still going to get the punt off.
How ugly.
And still,
And after an incredible recovery from Guy Kazak, after a muff snap, the ball is spotted at the 38-yard line for the Lynbrook Vikings. Nice job, Guy, recovering from that snap.
all right, so that was very close to being a disaster. And still, Gunn gets lucky.
Evidently so. It is partially luck, and it is also partially skill. That punt, making that play, was tough, and it looked tough. And to manage to get the kick that far with just about a second to punt it is an accomplishment, nevertheless. And the Vikings find themselves pretty far to what could have turned into a huge play.
And there's a penalty on the play.
It's like it could have been holding.
Flags on the play. The run is handed off to number 10, Jason Larsh, who is immediately tackled.
And that will be holding against the offense.
52, Zach Wiseman. Holding on the play, 10-yard penalty, still first down, Lynbrook Vikings.
Punting. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
One thing I have to say that I was not expecting was a low-scoring game here tonight. I thought there would be more points. But as far as we can see here tonight, the defenses have made their case.
Yeah, it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Well, that's what it would appear would be the case. And a quick pass to number 14, who catches the ball and manages to bring it to midfield before running out of bounds.
That looks close to a first down, and I believe it will be enough to get the first down.
And the pass is complete to number 14, Alex Z, who runs forward and dances along the sideline, right close to the first down marker. But right before
So that was Alex Z's first catch of the night.
He pulls into the ground out of bounds.
In fact, I believe that was the first
Correction,
catch.
They did get the first down.
Period.
First down, Lynbrook
That was the
Vikings.
first catch that's really been successful.
Yeah.
A catch for well, there's been a catch for
Oh
the
yeah, there
Titans.
has been one catch, yes. But the first catch that was intentional. Hand off to number 10, and he goes nowhere. Well, one thing that you need to have when you have a team that is going to constantly run the ball is you need to have a really good offensive line. And one thing that we have seen here, oh, it looks like we have a
Timeout.
number 10 is getting up really slowly here. Looks like he might have gotten tackled in the leg or a helmet to leg contact,
All right.
and he is not standing up.
That's to number 22, Howard Huang.
And Howard Huang is a pretty important player here for the Vikings, as he is their main wide receiver. And he is walking with the help of two adults here as his leg is suspended up in the air. It does not look good for the wide receiver. Especially wide receivers, they need to be able to run, so if your legs aren't working, although I'm sure you can make the case that if your legs aren't working, basically any position is bad in football, but
Yeah, unless like
especially wide receivers because you really have to run.
fast.
Yeah.
Or
Possibly
running fast.
possibly even more than running backs
Yes, definitely.
to
Running
break away
backs.
from defenders.
I mean, the running's in their name, you know. And another false start looks like.
Flags on the play.
And another
Dead ball.
penalty. That's the
start.
third one tonight, and
The
it is
offense.
still the first quarter.
5-yard penalty.
It's a lot of
Remains
penalties.
second
Very good
down.
procedure.
You have to look for things that you like, but you also have to look for things that you don't like. And when your players are committing stupid penalties, it's really going to affect the offense, and coaches know this.
Yeah, and this is like
And a
sometimes it
QB
turns out to be
sneak.
huge. And oh!
A lateral fumble, and
it's
it
a
is
fumble
recovered by
recovered by Gunn.
Gunn gets it.
On the play.
And a mistake that
There's a
Lynbrook
QB
just
option.
can't
Run
afford to
number
make.
7,
We have
Jimmy
seen
Roberts.
sloppy plays, and we were just talking about penalties. Penalties are a form of a sloppy play. Now, that was a sloppy play. It did not look like the quarterback had good possession of the ball, and he knew this. He knew he was going to get tackled, and he knew he might fumble it. So what did he decide to do? He decided to lateral it, right?
Yeah.
And the guy who he lateraled it to was not prepared for that.
He
and
thought he
just dropped the ball. I don't even think it touched his hands.
I mean, he was expecting just go, okay, I'm just going to block from a quarterback, but then if you pitch it to him, then he's not looking, and it was a disaster.
Well, yeah, you're really shooting yourself in the foot when you make just, if you have a play that just like that, if you make a play like that, it's really shooting yourself in the foot because you're giving the offense so much to work with. Here they get to start at basically past midfield, and we have a running play here that gets a couple of yards, as we have seen a lot from Gunn tonight.
And the first quarter is ticking down, and it is the end of the first quarter.
And that's the end of the first quarter, folks. Your Gun Titans have 0, and the Lynbrook Vikings also have 0. Stay tuned for the second quarter.
And so the score is still 0-0.
Though I believe that could change.
Yes, maybe so. At the end, well, here we are at the end of the first quarter, and Gunn has the ball past midfield after a remarkable fumble recovery. Although I would say that that fumble was completely the fault of the Vikings.
Yes, that was,
Completely their mistake.
and Gunn just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and got the football.
Indeed, they did.
So momentum right now is, I think, shifted from Lynbrook to Gunn.
Indeed, I mean, we saw in the beginning of the game, it really did look like Lynbrook was going to score a touchdown even because they were getting 4 or 5 yards every play. And one bad throw, and things seem rather different. So here we go. The players have switched sides of the field.
Still same location, though.
Still same location indeed.
So it is 2nd and 6 from the 40-yard line.
Gunn hands off.
And there's a break open. There's an opening, and that's going to be a touchdown.
He's got it.
Number 88.
Guy Kasnick.
Guy Kasnick with the touchdown.
First play, second quarter of the second quarter, coming in and asserting yourself, showing that your running game is more than what the defense thought.
And that was a huge play for Gunn.
Indeed. And especially for Guy Kasnick, who ran nearly 50 yards on that play.
So momentum has definitely shifted.
The extra point is good too, 7-0. Titans.
Extra point attempt is good. With 11:56 left in the second quarter, your Gun Titans 7.
You know, we were talking about
Vikings 0.
good players on this Titans team. Obviously, this is going to be a rebuilding year since they haven't had as much success as I'm sure they anticipated with a new coach. But when you have guys like Guy Kasnick, because Guy Kasnick is a junior, so he's going to be here hopefully to play next year.
Yeah.
There is a potential there is a potential for a team to develop itself, since I would say that the star players here tonight, they are not leaving to college. They'll be back next year for more fun. In fact, this Gunn team is composed primarily of juniors. I think it's something like a ratio to 3-to-1. So about 66% of the players are juniors, which will hopefully make for an older team next year
Right.
if they decide to start the same people.
And a win today would mean could get themselves some momentum heading into next season.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, the thing is Hirano is a new coach, and I'm sure that what he wants to do and what his team wants to do is say, okay, we didn't have the greatest season, but we won our last game. So technically, we could develop some kind of a streak. We could start winning next year and really come in. And what it's all about is developing a reputation for your team, developing a system that works. And even if you start developing that system this late in the season, it's not the greatest way to do it, but nevertheless, if you can get something working now that you can transcend into the next season, there's a potential
Foul,
for a
illegal
great
helmet
season
contact
next year.
on the kicking team.
Gunn
15-yard penalty.
actually had a
First
pretty
down.
good season. In 2012, they had a different coach, but they wound up winning 7 games that year. It's not exceptional, but for Gunn, it is, because they've had nothing but trouble this century. Except for that year.
Yes, and now it looks like finally we got a pass. I mean, Lynbrook's completed 1 pass already. Let's see if maybe another pass is in stock. No. And Gunn
Number
read that
45
one all the way.
breaks the tackle and runs out of bounds for at least 1 yard.
So I believe number 45 made the tackle for Gunn.
Daniel Grinberg.
And a run to the right side, but number 45, Daniel Grinberg, who after breaking the first tackle, is wrapped up in the backfield by number 13, Sean Mitchell, who wraps up his legs and pushes him out of bounds.
Unfortunately, one of the things when you have your running back sprinting across the line, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So honestly, there were no surprises because he was just running and Gunn just saw him. He made himself visible.
And there is a flag and still not much to gain there.
They're really not getting their running game going, these Vikings. Jonathan Chang having basically as much success as the last guy, not moving up all that much. And that brings up a 3rd and long situation. Well, it's nice to finally see some points on the board here. Gunn Titans are currently leading 7-0, folks, if you're just joining us now. It has been, in summary, a run-based football game so far, where we have seen basically every play, at least 95%, as running plays. And the clock continues to tick here in the 2nd quarter.
It's been a long day for Lynbrook so far.
Or long night.
Yeah, I guess you should say long night. I should have said long
Deep.
night. And there's a throw that might get him back in it.
Completion to Alex Z.
And the pass is complete.
I believe that's his second. I believe that's his second catch.
Very hard.
Yes.
Number 13,
So
Sean
he's
Mitchell.
been delivering for Lynbrook today.
You know, this is a team that really hasn't done very much throwing. And so it's big
Third down and about
when it's
3.
3rd down and you're able to complete, because they don't have the best quarterback. I mean, he's okay,
And-
but
Oh, look at this.
when
They're
you have,
going
what really worked that play was there was really good eyesight, and both players knew it was going to happen.
Oh, it's 3rd and 3, sorry. 3rd and 3 and nowhere to go. So it was 3rd and 3. It was 2nd and 20.
second. Okay, it was second and 20. Now it's 4th down.
And
And
it's
I
a
believe
wildcat
5.
run by number 25, Jared Jacoby. But as he was running to the left side, number 80 and number 13 both meet him at the same time and throw him to the ground.
4th
Fourth down.
and 5.
Well, I don't know what you think, but I'm kind of thinking if I'm the coach here of Lynbrook, I'm going to throw the ball and start getting into a rhythm because running the ball has not worked.
And they
And
are
that's
going
what they are
to
gonna
throw
do.
the ball.
And it's going to be a QB sneak, and he's going to get
Yeah, he did get the first down.
the first down.
And Lynbrook is getting some momentum here.
And it's another wildcat formation for number 25, Jared Jacoby, who runs it to the right
So
side.
after the play
and
action,
dives forward for the first down
So
before
Jared
being
the
Jacoby,
QB sneaks it.
hit by number 80, Sherrod Miller.
Jared Jacoby's going to get the first down.
The Lynbrook Vikings are able to move the chain. First down.
One of the things that really defines a great quarterback is what he does under pressure. When you see as a quarterback that you have no wide receivers open, the options are limited. You can throw it out of bounds, you can run with it, or you can just go down.
Or you can try to take a shot. And that's what the quarterback for Lynbrook did do. And he threw an interception.
Well, it all depends on how good your wide receivers are. Sometimes taking a shot is almost always dangerous.
And again, a flag. It's been a lot of penalties today.
Indeed. That's got to be at least the 5th or 6th penalty.
And it's a holding against Lynbrook. That's
And
I
the
believe
message
the
goes to number 45, Daniel Greenberg, who
holding
runs it to the
penalty
left side, but is immediately
today.
chased out of bounds by number 13, Sean Mitchell.
Holding.
No gain on the
Offense.
play.
10-yard penalty. Repeat
And the
first
coach
down.
has got to be pulling his hair out now. Especially last game of the season.
Yeah,
To
they've
just
been
be moving backwards so much.
They've-
Fumbles, penalties,
interceptions.
interceptions, you name it. You name it, they've done it tonight. Really, nothing has been working for Lynbrook.
It's been a
Holding
long
call from the
night.
offense.
You know,
10-yard
it's
penalty
just
from the spot of the foul.
not been the greatest
First
game for
down.
Lynbrook.
First and 22 for the Lynbrook Vikings.
So it's going to be 1st and 22 for the Lynbrook
And a
Vikings.
play action.
And a
The
nice
ball is
throw.
perfectly thrown to number 10, who catches it and falls down. That was a really effective pass. Did you see the spiral in that throw?
And now it's,
And
yeah,
after-
that was
and after the
a
quarterback is
nice
starting to be
throw
chased
there.
down by number 80, Sherrod Miller. He
Uh,
finally gets
We
the
don't get
pass
to see
off
the
and it's completed
football
to number
there,
10,
but,
Jason Welsh, who was immediately
It really
after
had
catching the ball,
perfect spin,
smashed by number
and it
13,
landed
Sean
exactly
Mitchell.
where
Gain of about 5
the
on
wide
the
receiver
play.
was.
Second down.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 14. And a nice run there. Oh, and he cut it. At first, he didn't really find a hole. Then he found one, but there is a flag on the play.
Yet another one.
And I believe it's going to be another holding call against Lynbrook.
Oh, that's awful then.
This has just been an awful game for Lynbrook.
Holding call on the offense.
Holding.
Holding on the offense.
Offense.
That's
I,
like their
I kind
10-yard
of like this
penalty.
Tony guy though. This
Repeat,
this
second
quarterback
down.
for the Vikings. He threw one interception, but he's kind of getting his rhythm on, and you guys got to see our camera people, our great crew out here tonight. We are few, but proud.
yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think their passing game has potential. Gunn
Hey.
not having the best secondary.
Gunn is really just.
Tony hands off to number 22, who breaks free.
And look at
No one's
that.
stopping him. He's going.
That was a nice play on 2nd and
And
35.
another flag.
And another flag.
Another
And another flag.
2 flags on the play.
Flags flying everywhere today. Penalty after penalty. I don't know where it stops.
Who was that on?
Looks like maybe a holding call right there.
It's possible.
Looks like
Referees are discussing that right now, as we can see.
maybe.
And yes, indeed, the cheerleaders can do cool stuff. Yes, they can. Look at that.
Pretty cool.
Dead ball.
I wish I could do that.
Personal foul. Defense.
Fortunately, I am
15-yard penalty will result in a first down.
And this
not flexible at all.
And this is going to result, and the penalty is going to be against Gunn. So the Lynbrook catches a huge break and now gets 1st and 10.
2 breaks after one after the other. A big play and a penalty to stack onto that. That's huge.
It's sort of been like not very productive the last 3 minutes for the Lynbrook.
Well, the thing is with Gunn is they make a lot of mistakes when their defense is in the red zone or pushed back. And we definitely got to see that last week against Los Altos when they didn't even score any points and allowed 30. And this is really where you cannot make mistakes and you have to stop the offense.
Oh no!
The ball is swatted.
And so he was
Tony tried to throw the ball, and a Gun player just got his big arm right in front of that one. Right there, number 25.
number 20.
Smacked the ball down.
Number 25, I believe that is Max Chu forcing the fumble. And Lynbrook gets really lucky because that would have been their 2nd fumble. And another disaster.
Well, it was a fumble, but recovered. So Max Chu making sure that play went nowhere because it looked like he was prepared to throw it pretty far away, and the handoff goes left for about 3 or 4 yards.
So
tough yardage here tonight. Tough yardage
and
indeed.
another flag.
And the flag comes down again. Actually, it looks like he might have dropped it by accident. I'm not sure if that was actually a flag.
I think it is 3rd and 12.
They're discussing it. It kind of looked like he just stuffed it in his pocket and it fell out, but I might be wrong about that.
And they're saying no flag on the play.
Gotta get your act together, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let that happen. That really slows down the
Get
flow
bigger
of the game.
pockets or something. Get a button for it. That just disrupts the game because also the clock stops and the coaches start asking questions. And you can definitely see this Gun staff. They are on their feet. All 7 of them.
On the defense.
And there's a timeout
Half the distance to the goal.
called by Gun.
The timeout call.
As the coach definitely looks like he wants to have a word with his team here.
Timeout.
Both coaches looking like they want to
Gun.
have words with their team. Especially Lynbrook. I bet their coach is telling them right now to stop committing penalties. And that should be actually for both teams.
Doesn't look like Hirano is very happy, folks. And no kidding, when you allow the Vikings to move up so much due to penalties and big plays. So as you can see here, it is 7-0. Gun is up 7 still.
And it's 3rd down and 12.
5 minutes still to go before halftime. And I think that what Hirano is telling his team right now is we need to be up at halftime. So stop this offense from moving.
That's exactly, I think, what he said. And I think that's exactly what Gunn needs to do if they're going, well, if they're going to have, if they're going to have a better chance of winning this game.
Well, being up at the half is really important because, it's all about, oh, here we go. We have a handoff to number 10.
And he's going to get a 1st down, and that is Jason Larsh.
Jason Larsh, they're rushing up to the line. I was just saying, it's really important to have the moral to keep it high. And you do that by having more points at halftime. And it makes a difference when you come back. All right, the Vikings having success handing off.
Giving it to Jason Larsh again, and that time
and that's going nowhere.
Stuffed by number 68 of Gunn, which is Ben Lee.
So Ben Lee will have none of it. That fooled nobody. So what would you do here in this position if you were calling the plays? Would you throw it or would you run it?
I think.
2nd and 5.
I think. Yeah. With 5 minutes, I think it's a good call to just run it here, see what happens.
And they will, in fact. And does he have it?
And it looks like maybe a touchdown.
Looks like he's going to be
No.
short, actually.
So from 1 yard line, I think you just have to power it in here.
Yeah, possibly a QB sneak play like they did that one time to get the first down.
Yeah, just go up there, snap real quick.
They're moving quickly here. Gunn needs to get its
Looks like
mojo going.
Looks like they might pass, and then a QB sneak for a touchdown.
That is a touchdown.
Lynbrook Vikings.
Number 25.
That's a QB sneak for number 25, Jared Jacoby for a
So
touchdown.
Jared Jacoby with the QB sneak scores a touchdown for Lynbrook.
And that is a name that we have not said at all here tonight.
Yeah,
But he
Jared.
manages to make himself apparent.
Yeah, Jared Jacoby hasn't really been a big factor in this game so far.
Well, that's changed, huh? 7-7. If this kick is good. And
The kick
it's up.
is good.
Yeah, that's a good kick.
So it is tied at 7.
4:32.
4 minutes and 32 seconds left in
And with
the
4:32
second
left
quarter.
in the second quarter. Here Gunn Titans have 7.
So we both agreed that the game would be close. And 7-7, and it's almost halftime. That might be the halftime score, in fact, here, folks. 7-7. It's possible because there's only 4 minutes left. And we have not seen very many big plays, except for that one big run by Kasnick earlier in the second.
So, as we predicted, the game was pretty close.
Yes, indeed. I am interested in this game. I have to admit. It sure is cool when you have even two teams that aren't great, when you have a competitive feeling,
Yeah,
when there's a competitive vibe.
I mean, like,
Both of these teams are playing competitively.
here in the El Camino League, I mean, Cupertino and Gunn at the bottom of the league here. But if these, I mean, if you play hard, it doesn't really matter if you're good or not. And that is good. That's a good kick.
Yeah, it's a good
coverage.
kick. It's a good kick and not a great return. And that'll be spotted at about the 15.
And the kickoff is taken by number 88, Guy Kasnick, who runs to the right side. He's wrapped up on
And that was
multiple
Guy
defenders.
Kasnick with the return, who we were just talking about, scored the only
The
touchdown
ball
so
is
far
started
for
at the
Gunn.
15-yard line.
And yeah,
First
he's
down.
been, stellar.
Well, I'm sure they're going to use him some more because when you have a guy that can really break through the defense, he's your go-to guy, especially when he's already done it once.
And really, it hasn't been the pass game that Gunn has been using. It's been the run game.
Indeed.
And there is
That'll be a short gain. Number 13 plowing his way for about 1 or 2 yards.
Sean Lidster getting maybe a yard on the play.
And the handoff is given to number 13, Sean Lister. Before he can really break free, he's wrapped up at number 14, Alex Z. Gain is about 2 on the play, 7 down.
I don't know if they're trying to respond or not, or take down time on the clock. But small plays, to say the least, is what we've seen so far here this drive. Another 1 to 2 yard gain
Sean Lidster not getting
from
much.
Munster again.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7, and does not seem
A
like
3rd and long situation where they're going to have to throw it.
it does not seem like they were running
Number
here,
13,
but
Sean
knowing
Lister.
the Titans, they might as well just run it and then try to, run down the clock. But there's still a lot of time left in the half for maybe possibly
I think with
touchdown.
3 minutes they should be trying. I don't understand why they're calling such conservative plays.
Yeah. And
That's a
here
power
is
toss to number 13 again. He was
And
fighting for yardage, but is
and-
finally taken down by 4 or 5 defenders on that play.
A
He was
good
completely
gain.
packed.
a good gain, and it's not
And the handoff
enough
is
to
given
get
to
the
number
first
13,
down.
Sean Lister. And as he runs to the left side,
So Sean
carrying
Lister has
multiple
really been
Lynbrook
the
defenders with him. He's finally brought
go-to
up on
guy
the
this
offense,
drive.
number
He's
50
Oh
got
wait,
every single
no,
handoff.
they're going to give him the first down.
First
Oh, they're going to
down
give it to
run.
him. Well,
They're going
First
to,
down Titans.
so that is a huge,
I was
huge
thinking
conversion.
at 3rd and long they would try to throw